Hello everyone, this is the Southern Heathen. I am back with another video. So in today's video I'm going to talk about what got me into heathenism and what pulled me out of it and how I went back and forth till finally I was so sick and tired of it that I was like, fuck this. This is my path. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm kind of watching my time because I've got cinnamon rolls in the oven baking right now. Yes, I have cinnamon rolls baking in the oven. For people that have been with me since the beginning, and my channel's been up for 5 years, which is freaking long time that my channel has been up. This year is going to be 6 years. I'm very happy about that. I kind of started out with something else, ended up becoming a heathen channel. I don't know how that happened, but it happened somewhere along the way. So, this is a channel that I still have my old moving vlog, which, which has been a very interesting thing in itself. So I discovered heathenism by chance, by fate, don't know, but definitely by chance. I don't know if by fate. I don't know if by fate. And it all started with my mother telling me that she did not want me to be practicing Wicca and witchcraft in her house. This was shortly after she bought me like 25 books on Wicca. Though she did not tell me that I had to get rid of the books. Her viewpoint was that I will probably get rid of the books on my own. Though I did get rid of a lot of them, mainly because I just did not like the writing. And I don't know what I did with them. It's been a long time. So I was kind of floating around, trying to figure out, like, what the fuck am I going to do? I did not want to go back into Christianity. Christianity and me did not get along, and I did not want to go back into it. So after I sat there for the gods knows how long, my mother had come in and she told me, like, oh, are you alright? And I was like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm fine. I don't know what, I think I was reading a book or something like that, I don't know. And so she's like, oh, I'm going to go in the bedroom and I'm going to go and take a nap. This is before she became an invalid. I was like, okay, cool. I think she was in her late 40s, maybe early 50s, probably late 40s. And so I didn't exactly wait for her to be asleep. I was kind of like, I didn't know I was going to the computer. And so I went to the computer and I typed in Egyptian paganism, and that's how I found out about Heathenism. And I was kind of like, I was kind of looking at the Wikipedia page for Heathenism, which has changed, which shows how much time has passed. And so I noticed that there was this whole list of, like, Reconstructionist religions. And I was saying to myself, wow, there's people out there that are doing this? Like, really? I was like, I was shocked. I just sat there in Mom's room while she was asleep looking at Heathenism, going all the way down to the last part of the page, and find out there was a whole, like, they had, like, let me retract that. It said that Heathenism was a Reconstructionist religion, and they had a little, like, I should say it, they had kind of like this little thing under Reconstructionist, and I clicked it, and Wikipedia took me to another page where it had a list of all these Reconstructionist religions, and I was looking at it like, people are doing that? I just thought Wicca was the only, like, neo-pagan religion out there next to Druidry. I was like, people are doing this? I didn't know this. So I saw Heathenism, and I was like, I'll give that a look. And I clicked it. And it just basically was like, it just basically gave me a little small summary of heathenism, and I was like, wow, this looks really cool. So I got off the computer and I went to my room. My room also had a computer. I don't know why I didn't use my own computer. I do not know why. But I typed in heathenism, and and it was like, there was it was like all these things, and I was like, wow, this looks really cool. And I mean, they're worshiping gods like Odin and Frigga, and I mean, all this stuff. I was like super excited about it. And so I was like, wow, this is really cool. And this is before, I think this was like almost before Facebook. I don't remember. And so there was a site called The Cauldron that I have been trying to rejoin for the last 3 months because me and them got off on I left on a really bad note with them, because this is back when my mother was still alive and all that type of stuff. And yeah, I think it was probably about 15, 16 years ago or something like that. I don't remember. So I go on The Cauldron, and I sign up, and I kind of like just put down pagan as my religion. I kind of like, so I hung out with the Wiccans for a little bit on there, and then I decided, hey, look, I'm going to go and talk to the heathens. And they were really great people, and I thought all heathens were like this and everything. Later on down the road, I'd find out they were not. But the people that I communicated with were really nice, and they were like answering questions, and it was really a great experience. So when Facebook came around, when Facebook came around, they used to have it was a page, and you could list yourself as a religious organization. Nowadays, religious organization is more geared towards like businesses than anything. I know that my pagan market, I put down as I think it was like a business connected to a religious or something like that. So I joined a couple of heathen groups, and it wasn't the same vibe as I got on The Cauldron. Here was people talking about race and about you gotta be this part of it. And then I was reading like beginner books on generalized paganism that included heathenism. They're like, no, you don't have to be the right kind of blood. It was kind of like you were getting this universalist type of viewpoint of heathenism, and then you were getting this folkish. And I actually went on a website that is defunct now, and they actually talked about that within heathenism there are people that believe in like, oh, you gotta be white and all this stuff, and that is not what heathenism is about. And literally it's like this battle between the folkish heathens and the universalist heathens and the tribal heathens and all the heathens that go out there to the heathen place. And I just, to me was like, no matter how much, the universalist heathens were trying to like to convince people that their religion was not racist, the racist heathens were always the loudest people. And so I left them mainly because they pissed me off because I had a bust of Loki, and no, it wasn't a bust of Loki. It was a bust of Odin, and he had like the horned helmet, And they thought it was hilarious that I had chosen the most misrepresentation of Viking culture. And I was kind of like, this isn't even mine. It was like, no, this is not even my statue. I actually bought it for my mother. She was a Norse pagan, but she liked the god Thor. And it literally was probably the most embarrassing thing because everybody was like laughing at me and everything. And of course they relate, they brought up like, oh, I used to be Wiccan, and I'm like, yeah, probably so were you. And so I left heathenism and I started to look at other paths that hopefully was not racist. And after going around these different paths, I actually talked to a member of Nova Roma, and he point blank said, every single Reconstructionist path, unless the people in charge speak out against it and ban them, they're all racist. Every last one of them is racist. And he explained a lot about where that comes from. And about how that you just don't give up on a path because of the unsavory bits. Make sure that people know for the fact is that you're not like that. And it really took me a long time to get to that place, and there was a lot of things that happened. Mom passed away, which, by the way, if people want to know, it was last month on the 5th. It was 2 years. It actually took my mother couldn't believe I was a heathen. She made it sound like it was worse than being a Satanist. And it took me a very long time to come to this conclusion in my life that I really needed to settle on one path. And I actually said adieu to Hellenism because of the organization that was heavy into homophobia and stuff like that, and how Hellenists, they look up to them without criticizing them and all that type of stuff. And I was like, I don't need this. And I started watching more videos from Wolf the Red and Ocean Keltoid and all that type of stuff, and I had come to this big stark conclusion that okay, look, I can't control the racists, but I can be a part of an organization that is against it and all that type of stuff. So, that was the nail in the coffin. That's what I said to myself, guess what? This is what I know. I still love the Norse gods. I still feel drawn to them, especially the god Loki and the goddess Freya. But I'm going to mold my path based on based on a lot of different things. I'm not going to, yes, it's going to be a Reconstructionist path and all this type of stuff, but it's going to be how I do heathenism, and all that type of stuff. So that is how I found heathenism. That's how I left it, came back, left it, came back, left it, came back. And I've come to the conclusion that that this is my path. And so that's why you're going to be getting more videos. So, yeah, so I have this book, Modern Guide to Heathenism, that I will be doing a book review on when I get done with it. So I'll see you guys around.